Yesterday, what I feel like was probably the single biggest day of the trial so far, with evidence. And it was a great day. Looking forward to the day today to see what happens. I hear we got a couple of interesting witnesses coming on the stand, and I look really looking forward to it.
That was the reaction from the grandfather of J.J. Vallow this morning after yesterday's testimony revealed Lori Vallow's hair was found on duct tape that was found around J.J.'s body. Today, the months leading up to Tammy Daybell's death and the months after were the focus of court in day 20 of Lori Vallow Daybell's murder trial. Tammy is the late wife of Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow's fifth and current husband. Vallow is charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder in the deaths of Tammy and her two kids, JJ and Tylee. News Channel 7's Shira Matsuzawa joins us live from the Ada County Courthouse with a look at what's happened so far this morning. Shira?
Well, Doug, the medical examiner who performed the autopsy on Tammy Daybell was back on the stand today for the cross-examination. Now, the defense spent a lot of time questioning Tammy and whether she could have died by seizures or with seizures, from seizures, which could have been a side effect from a medication she was on. Dr. Erik Christensen said it's possible, but he said based on how her brain looked and her age and lack of seizure history, he determined she died from asphyxia. Tammy died on October 19th of 2019. The prosecution then called Fremont County Sheriff Detective Bruce Mattingly back to the stand. He talked about obtaining a search warrant for Tammy's Fitbit. He said while Chad stated Tammy was sick, from an investigative standpoint, Tammy was very active up until the time of her death. During the cross-examination, Vallow's attorneys asked Mattingly if he was aware that Vallow was in Hawaii during the time of Tammy's death. He responded, "I did," something we've heard in previous testimony. Mattingly also revealed during the redirect that he learned Chad was living off Tammy's life insurance payout of $430,000 while in Hawaii with Vallow. Next, the prosecution called Tammy and Chad's neighbor and church ward member Alice Gilbert. She said she went over to the Daybell's house the day Tammy died. And while Tammy's children were, quote, stunned, she says Chad was not. She said Chad also told her Tammy's funeral would be held on Tuesday and her memorial would be Wednesday. Tammy died just 3 days before that, on a Saturday. Alice got emotional when she talked about Tammy's funeral, saying Chad wasn't really mournful in her opinion. She also talked about Tammy's kids and seeing them the week after Tammy's funeral. One of them told her Chad didn't want anything to do with the kids. Alice also testified about meeting Lori a short time after Tammy's death. She says Chad and Lori came to her house. They were very affectionate with each other. And during that visit, she says Lori told her her husband died from a heart attack. Chad also mentioned Lori recently lost a daughter. She said she was under the impression that Vallow had no other children, or if she did, she was an empty nester. Now, Alice also testified that Chad asked if he could move in with her after Lori was arrested in Hawaii. She said no at that time because her daughter was coming, and Chad mentioned his place was just too crowded. Now, when I stepped out of the courtroom, Alice's husband was on the stand, and we'll break down what happens coming up on the news at 4. Doug?
All right, Shira, thank you very much for that update from the Lori Vallow murder trial. We'll see you at 4.